AI is still going to be needed. You're using that AI layer to enable it, automate it, make it go faster. But you still need your brain power.
You can't just take it away. You need somebody, human in the loop is a real thing. It is going to change jobs, and there'll be different jobs available, but it's still a lot of human in the loop. And some of these companies, they're letting all these knowledge workers go, people that have knowledge about how the business works, why it works that way, all these things. Where are you going to gain that knowledge? You have to build it all back.
Exactly.
I was passed on to not one, not two, not three, but 4 different agents. And then somebody hung up on me. And I was like, oh my God, I've been on the phone for so long.
Were you speaking to a human or were you speaking to like a chatbot?
There were 2. It was very painful. But I say there is a special place in hell for women that don't support women. I'm sorry.
Is that what you say?
I do say that.
Welcome back to Tipsy Technologists, where we make technology less terrifying, more human, and occasionally more drinkable. Today we're joined by Ricki Lang, Vice President of Telecommunications and Media at Quantum Metric, digital technology strategist, customer experience engineering leader, Billy Tech builder, podcast host, and all-around champion of human-first transformation. Ricki has led large teams, made the jump from enterprise to SaaS, and spent her career helping organizations use technology and data to create better customer and employee experiences. And today we're getting into the good stuff, AI and telecom, why government and regulated industries may be perfect for practical AI, and whether AI is really coming for our jobs, and why happy employees might be the most underrated customer service strategy in business. We'll also talk about the generational divide in digital service, because some people follow the prompts and some of us just start yelling agent until the robot gives up. So grab your drink, settle in, and let's talk about the future of AI, service, people, and change with Ricki Lang. Ricki, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So what's your drink of choice? What are we drinking today?
Today is a tequila soda.
All right. What's your favorite tequila?
There are so many tequilas, but someone gave me a Kuma tequila. It's in a pink, it's a rosé, it's in a pink bottle, and I think that that's beautiful.
Oh.
But I do love to taste all the different ones and have drinks mixed or just drink it straight. So
I love that. Okay. I wanted to do a tequila tasting. And my friends actually were going to come over and we were going to do tequila tasting.
I'll bring. I have so many to try.
Yes, I love it. I've always wanted to try. Oh my gosh, this is the ones in the pretty bottles in the blue. It's not like it's not
Clase Azul.
Is it a Clase Azul?
And now they have 50 different ones of them. Yes.
It is so cool. I was somewhere and they had black bottle, a red bottle, a green bottle, and oh my gosh, I just want to try.
Got to be careful what you order though, because some. How much is that one?
Yes, exactly. Oh my gosh, once I remember we went to a bar, my friends went and got tequila shots. And I don't think she realized what she bought because the bill was like $500.
Yep.
And I went, what did you buy? She goes, oh, I don't know. I just picked like the top shelf tequila.
That's why it's fun to try at home. People know I like tequila, so they bring for my birthday and things. So we have lots of items to try.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, so is tequila your go-to drink?
A martini is a go-to drink.
Okay.
Vodka.
Okay, good. Okay.
But I do love tequila and wine. I mean, I'm not a huge drinker, but you know, it's fun to have some imbibement.
Exactly. Yep. I'm a big vodka drinker.
Okay.
I like vodka martinis.
Yeah. Yes.
Straight.
Me too. Straight with an olive.
Yes. Blue cheese or regular?
So we get laughed at because we like 2 regular and 1 blue cheese because 3 blue cheese is too many.
Yeah. That's true. But then when you leave it in there and then it soaks up a little bit of the alcohol, it tastes really good.
That's right.
I know.
Yep.
Oh, that's so funny. Well, funny. If Quantum Metric was a cocktail, what's in it? And what would be one ingredient not allowed in it?
I would say a passion fruit margarita.
Oh, I like that.
Our tagline is passion, persistence, and integrity, and that's how we function.
Yeah.
And there's so much love that goes into the way that we support our customers every day.
Yeah.
So that's important. So it could not be bitter. It would have to be a little bit sweet.
Okay.
But it also has some, some excitement to it because we like to innovate and work really hard with our customers. So it's a great place to be.
If Gemini and Claude walked you into a party, who's going to be the lead? Who's going to network? Who's going to be overthinking? And who's helping everyone finish their work?
Interesting. So I think that Claude would probably be the one that would be most fun to hang out with and like chit chat with.
Okay.
I think Gemini is helping people finish their work because of the way that Gemini's been working recently.
Okay.
But I think Claude would be more fun. I think Claude has more of a personality that is fun to hang out with. I don't know. It changes so fast every day. I feel
every day.
And it's based on what you know about me. What about this? What about this? There's so many different ways to use these LLMs, and it's a lot of fun to experiment with too.
It is. I sometimes try to go in and I remind like the different like AI features. I said, remember, like this is what we're putting in, and this is a summary of what we described, right? For the for the application I did a couple of weeks ago, I was like, okay, summarize this and remember it because I'm going to need you to remember it later on when more things happen. And then it's funny, I'll just ask it a question. I was like, oh, well, Reshma, in your career, you've already accomplished like this and this. And I go,
you're so good.
Yeah.
That's a brilliant idea. It's always so fun.
I love that. I go, wow, thanks. I'm like, you're my best friend. And you don't talk back, although it does sometimes. It tells you feedback sometimes. And I go, I didn't ask for that. I do tell it that.
But sometimes you're like, you're wrong.
Exactly.
That's wrong.
Exactly.
And that's problematic, but
Do you have a tech confession that you have never said publicly?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what a tech confession. I love tech so much.
Okay.
I will walk into a party and I want to talk about tech all day long.
Yeah,
and some of my friends are like, shut it down, Ricki.
That's so funny.
I don't know. I think in technology. My dad was an engineer.
Okay.
And so I've been around it my whole career. And I think like in engineering, but that's why I can translate into the business side so well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just love it.
Well, one of my like tech ones, I can just share one with you. I never ever understood ChatGPT, Claude, any of them still. And I still always have issues because I'm so used to just doing the work myself. And then I have the team and I have David and the team and they're all like doing everything ChatGPT, Lovable, Gamma AI, like all these different tools. And it's really cool where I go, okay, I'm a little bit behind the 8 ball, but I got so used to just doing it.
It
one way.
accelerates you in so many different ways. It's so opportunistic, and you can use it for ideas. Right. You don't have to use like Gamma, right? As an example, Gamma creates a presentation for you, and it's like beautiful. It's a little off, but the format's good. You can then feed that into Claude and be like, I really like this format. Here's what's wrong with it. Here's what I want to do. And by the way, you know that I like X, Y, and Z. Can you help me redo this? And you'll end up with a whole new product. Like you can kind of feed them off each other.
It's very cool. And that's how the team does it now. And it's funny, we just got off a call earlier and the team was just doing it that way. And I just sat there, good for you guys. It's cool.
You'll get there. When you're
yeah,
ready. You also need to spend a little time also to get comfortable with it.
Exactly.
And be like, this worked and this did not work.
And it's just it's just figuring out, it can do this and solve these business problems or help you with these different customer issues or whatever it might be. And then, okay, I didn't think about it. So tell me a little bit more about you. How did you get in the industry? How did you get into quantum metric? Whatever you want to share, just a little bit more fun about you.
So I mentioned my dad was a software engineer. So when I was a little girl, I used to come home from school. My dad's typing in the corner and there's motherboards all over the place. And I grew up around that. When I was ready to go to college, I said, I know I want to be a business person, but I don't know what that looks like. So I went to NYU, I went to Stern,
so you knew.
and I did know. And I studied IS and finance, and I ended up at Accenture, and I was a developer, and I was a really bad developer. And I did everything. I did every role there was, in the SDLC at the time. And I realized I was a much better leader than a developer myself. And so throughout my career, I was more leading technology initiatives between the business side and the technology side, because that translation it doesn't come natural to everybody, but it comes natural to me.
Good.
So I really loved that. And I ended up at a consulting company. I was consulting at Comcast, and I realized I could do much more if I worked there.
Yeah.
So I basically came on board at Comcast, and I did all kinds of really interesting things from e-commerce. I ran authentication, activation. We reinvented the activation experience, and I worked across teams in a really beautiful way, and realized that the collaboration, the breaking down silos, especially in an enterprise environment, was so key.
I bet.
And it was such a great experience. And I worked on both the residential and the Comcast business side.
Okay.
And about 2 years ago, so that means that there's, one person that buys a mobile phone and they have internet in their home.
Okay.
And then there's enterprise businesses,
Okay.
and I'm not going to name them because I'd probably get in trouble for that.
Yeah.
But enterprise businesses that need networking,
Like
DDoS, cybersecurity, and all of those things.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the Comcast business side.
I got it.
So
Okay.
kind of two different areas of
Makes sense.
of Comcast as a whole, and there's a lot of other areas. And I ended up leaving about 2 years ago. I said, I need somewhere that has great tech and great people.
Okay.
I needed something that was really juicy, and I was excited about it. And I had worked with Quantum Metric in the past. I know the CEO and interviewed, and now I run the telecom media vertical. And what is it? We do digital analytics at a really large, like enterprise scale. The volume is insane.
Cool. Yeah.
And I'm working with the largest telcos in the world on their digital experiences. So we help them understand what their customers and their employees are doing in digital experiences in real time. And now we're building out our agentic solutions and background agents and really co-pilot and the opportunity to really accelerate the way that they see insights. And I'm a data girl through and through. Are you a data person?
Yeah, I'm a data. I would say so.
I think, I've always driven results using data.
Yeah.
And you can be, you can guess, but when you have data behind you, you can actually make some really great things happen and break down silos. So I help our customers a lot breaking down those silos in their organizations, because it's not just about that digital interface. It's about the omni-channel experience, especially in telco.
Yeah.
Those people need to be sticky. They need to actually enjoy working with your company. And I help our customers do that.
That's
really
so
fun.
Cool. That's cool. I have so many ideas even beyond this where I think we should be talking more. Oh my gosh, this is super exciting. All right, that's super cool. What do you think is one thing that people get wrong about telecom?
Telecom's complicated. It really is.
Extremely complicated.
It is. And I think that it's very challenging, especially for a consumer who's trying to figure out, what do I need? What am I buying? There's a million, this is the year of switching. You see all the switching with all of the telco companies, and it's so easy to switch around. But when you can get that customer, I'm having a good experience.
Yeah.
My phone doesn't drop. My internet works at home.
Yeah.
That's great. But when you go to look online to see what you can buy, even for me, who works with all the telecom companies, it's confusing.
So, okay.
Those bundles, right? It's like how many things can you layer together, or the over the top services?
Yeah.
But it's so important. It's like part of Maslow's hierarchy of needs now, right? So what do they get wrong about telco? It's just not simple.
Yeah.
And it's not simple because there's so much to offer.
Okay.
And it's so important to everybody's day-to-day life.
What is one thing people get wrong about AI and telecom?
What we're doing, what I'm seeing in telco as a whole is the backbone is more important than ever, right? So that's important. But I think that looking at the AI opportunities, definitely autonomous networks is a big, huge thing.
Okay.
However, now we're starting to see more leaning in on the customer experience and the employee experience side. And using AI for those types of things in telco is wonderful, especially because it is a regulated industry.
Yes.
And so AI is beautiful for regulated industries. And it's very opportunistic for customer experience, because if you know what someone did in their digital world, why wouldn't you bring that into the interaction world that you're having with them, whether that be chat or calling an agent or anything of that nature? That agent should know you've been struggling to look at your usage report online, can't figure out where it is, and you call because you can't figure it out. Wouldn't it be nice if they said, "Hi, I see you're trying to do this.
Yeah.
Let me help you."
And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to bridge that gap.
I mean, the telcos are really trying hard to create a much better experience for their customers, and they're doing it with context, and they're doing it with expediency of like how they look entirely at your relationship with them. They want to please you, right? But it's not always easy to do.
I think that's so cool. I mean, that's just so cool, because I'm just like, my mind is just thinking about like all the tech and how everything has to run behind that in order to give them the knowledge and wherewithal of it, just to even just deliver the experience that you're talking about. There's just,
but
it's
opportunistic.
Yeah.
It's so opportunistic, and it's different than a retail environment, right? You know how much internet someone's using. You know what movies they're buying.
Yeah.
You know what additional services they've purchased from you. You know that their phone is available for an upgrade.
Right.
And this is what they could get if they do that.
Yeah.
Like it's very opportunistic right now for telco. And I think that everyone's trying to figure out how to use their resources in the right way to build all of these opportunities to make it even better for us out in the ecosystem. I know, I get super excited. I'm such a dork about it. I love it.
I am, but here I am like geeking out a little bit with you because it's just, you're seeing that perspective and then it's just building the pieces behind it. I think is just, I just think that's so,
but you, I mean,
cool.
as a technologist, you understand what goes behind it to do that. And people that are not in that technology arena, they're like, wow, how would you do that? I'm like, well, it's not that hard. You just need to like,
Exactly. Well, I just love always is like when my friends are like, you're in tech. And I go, yeah, I'm in tech, but I have people who help me with this. Like I can come up with the answers to like a certain extent, but like, I'm like, y'all are my brain power, meaning together we're all figuring it out, right?
You always surround yourself with people smarter than you or that complement your skill sets and things of that nature. And they look at you as smarter than them. That's how it all works.
We've touched on like a lot of different subjects thus far. And we talked about, like your career and your pivot, right? We moved over there. Did we talk a little bit? Have we spoken? I don't think we touched more on your customer and your employee experience. And I know you had some thoughts around that in terms of that could be the biggest game changer.
It is.
It
is and with AI, like it's and with agentic and the things that are happening.
Yeah.
So if you think about customers that are visiting you on they're looking to see if they want to do business with you.
Yeah.
And it's their first opportunity to interact with you. And guess what? They might have gotten there because ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude said, go look at this. And customers are much more likely to be like, okay, it told me to do that. And they trust that experience until they see friction. And so if they see friction, they're likely to leave and not come back. So really making sure that what you're showing up for your customers in the right way is number one. And providing them personalized experiences, which we can do, especially when you're authenticated, when you're logged in to these experiences. Like Netflix, these are suggested for you.
Yes, like how Netflix, and Paramount, they all do that.
So make it so that it knows what I need, just like the engines that you're using. Claude knows who you are. They know what you care about. They know what your company does. It's the same thing with the customer experience piece. And you can do it across all of your channels now.
Right.
And then how do you actually help the employees on the other side that are responsible for taking care of you?
Right.
Have a better knowledge about what you have been doing and what you need and what you like so that they can treat you in the way that you need to be treated. And by the way, what information are you giving them so they can provide you that experience?
I like that.
How do you give your employees the best opportunity to share with you all of the knowledge about your company?
Yeah, that's very true. And then that whole experience just completely changes, right? And then that delivers over to your customers.
It does, and it really there's this really opportunistic time right now because it's not just about that one digital interaction. It's about your overarching relationship, and that's why we've talked about NPS and loyalty in the past, but it's so big now, and you want people to stay with you because there's so many choices.
When you say technology is an enabler, what has to be true on the human side for that enablement to actually work?
So tech moves faster than people.
Oh my gosh, so fast. I can't keep up.
Yes.
Off the time. You're right. I can keep up.
Well, that's because you have your team around you to help you, right?
I move faster. Also. Yeah. Like today, they were just moving a mile a minute. I was like, bro, give me a second. I'm not there. Like he was already like at the finish line. He's like, will you smile? And I go, okay, yeah, like I'm there, but I'm not there yet.
Right.
I catch up.
It takes
Sometimes
time.
My brain just takes a second to process.
But like I truly believe there's no limits with tech. Okay. And I have brainstorms with people about like the opportunities now. And because we can process data and things so quickly, like it really is an opportunistic time. But how do you bring people along with you? To your point, what does that look like? And there's a huge amount of change management. Okay. And if you look at the generations too about who's ready for those change and who's not ready for those change. Right. But as a leader in the industry and the people that I've led, it's really helping people understand the vision and what we're trying to do so that they can see it and they can figure out along for the ride because they're going to come up with ideas to help it too. And then to help the people around you understand the technology.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that they can understand that that is actually achievable.
Very true. Very true.
Because there's so
like-
much you can do with tech. So tech is an enabler, but you have to figure out how to embrace it and get the people around you to embrace it in that way too, so that you can get there.
Absolutely.
And not be scared of it. And
Yeah.
that's part of what, everyone's talking about, this human side of AI. It's like, how do you embrace what's available so that you know that it's moving you forward and it's helping take your business forward and growing? Because it can accelerate you if you understand how to take advantage of it.
You were talking about how tech and using tech to enable like how you're the human element and pushing your team forward or pushing that forward. I take a step back and I go, where is it that you want to go? And where is it that like you want to be? And I'm more in that conversation. And then, okay, how do I guide the team and push them to where they need to go in general? So like where we're going, it fits with what they need and I'm positioning them properly. But then now you add on this whole element of tech, right? And just how can you use tech to enable the team to move forward, feel included, feel part of it, and not feel like ostracized, right? Because this AI and tech and human interaction, right?
It's hard. But also, do you ever find that sometimes you're like, yeah, I'm trying to do this. And you're like, well, why are you trying to do that? Because it sounds like you're trying to do that, but like, it's really here that you're trying to be.
Right.
And like helping to like mold it and then say, well, which pieces of that can technology enable you to move faster? Or where do humans need to be involved? Where can we do things that'll help those humans move faster? Like it's all, putting the puzzle pieces together in a beautiful way.
I love that.
Yeah.
You and I both have talked, and you said it earlier, about the 90% plus retention, right? And what does that tell us about the relationship between service and technology? And I know we've already touched on it, but I don't know if you want to say it in a different way or summarize it.
Tech is one piece, right? We just talked about how change management shows up. Tech is not the change manager.
No.
Like, how do you get people comfortable so that they're working with you? So, the way that I've always functioned is you're human first.
Yes.
And there's these things are going to help you get there.
Yes.
And so there's the element of like, I'm a person and you're a person. Let's get to know each other so we can work with each other. You can understand what my vision is. I can understand what your vision is. We can work together on it.
Right.
Like, that's not a technical thing.
No.
Like,
it's the human element.
It's the human element of like how you work together, and like businesses are built on relationships.
Yeah.
They're not built on this, like, I mean, you might have great technology and be a total jerk off.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Right.
Like, I shouldn't have said jerk off.
I don't think it matters, does it? I don't think
know
so. I think I said shit and fuck before. Here you go. I said it on it, so it's fine.
Well, that's what happens when you get tipsy. I mean,
exactly.
You're buying, you're not just buying tech, you're buying the relationship, you're buying the people that you're interacting with.
Correct.
You buy from people that you enjoy spending time with.
Absolutely. Fundamentals.
And that's important. You want to like the people that are on your team and the people that come to show up to spend time with you, because then you can brainstorm together. You can like hang out. You can whiteboard and like you can there's no ego around it. It's like you're learning and you're growing together.
Yeah.
So that's really important. And I think that service is that piece.
Yeah.
And you can't just sell something and then turn around and go in a different direction. That person's expecting, I bought this from you and I want you to help me get there. Like, I don't just know everything. I bought this amazing thing, or I asked you for consulting services and you have the tech behind it. I need to understand what we're doing. By the way, if that goes really well, then I want to do the next thing together too.
Right.
And so that service element,
exactly.
It's so important, and it's why people come back, right?
Yeah. So government and regulated industries, do you think, in your opinion, they're pushing more AI? And how do you think that adoption of it will be for the people?
I don't know that they're pushing it. I know that they are great targets for it.
Okay.
And they're, because regulated, so AI has been around for a really, really long time. Like I was doing ML years ago.
Different words,
we rebranded it, right?
Yes, of course.
But the element of it is the ability to process all of this data and process it the same way every time to get those results.
Right.
And that's why regulated industries, it's like you have to do it. These are the rules you have to follow. You don't go outside the bounds.
Yeah.
And AI is primed for that.
Right.
So it's a really opportunistic time. It doesn't mean they feel good or excited about it. Like I've even heard in the Philadelphia area. It's like, I'm scared of AI. I'm like, why are you scared of AI? Like, it's not AI that's the problem. It's so opportunistic, and it's going to help you move so much further.
Yes.
And that's how we should be looking at it. And because of the regulated industries having these rules, it's really a prime target.
Yeah.
Are they adopting it? I think they're really slow. And I think that the government also is looking at the regulations, which is important, and making sure that it's, a fair environment. I think all these things are important.
Yep.
And it's anybody's guess where it's all going to go and how quickly it's going to go. But I would hope that some of our government agencies that don't have enough resources to start with can take advantage of some of the automation that's available in the AI and govern it.
Right. Well, that's interesting. I mean, then what was the other thing from this weekend? And what do they do with Claude, with the different versions of Claude, right? And then, so there's government coming in and regulating on that.
There's a real need
careful.
for regulation. And I think that because it's this new frontier and nobody knows what's going to happen.
Right.
So we do need regulation. We do need something. It's unclear how to go about doing it in the best way.
Yeah.
That's why that's not my job.
But I think it's cool because people are watching. So when people say they're scared of it, I mean, people are watching it. I mean,
the thing is you either need to jump on the train and at least understand what's happening,
right?
Or you're going to be passed by and you're going to have to figure out how to catch up.
Yeah.
And I'd rather be on the train and watching what's going on and playing with the tools and understanding the capabilities along the way, because I like to understand how it's built.
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead of it just showing up and like, now you don't have a phone anymore because you go like this and you do everything like that.
Right.
Like,
that'll be so cool if we get into that world where we don't need to, we just like literally just
wearables is the next thing. All of those XR stuff, it's huge. So cool. It's exciting. I mean, brooches and
I know, and then
like anything.
But it's like that's where like Kit, like Knight Rider. I don't know about Knight Rider. Who's the other guy? MacGyver. I don't know. One of those guys.
All of them, right? Exactly.
I mean, they all had that technology before, and then it's just.
Well, people thought this was never a thing, and look at us.
No.
And I'm excited about the opportunities. It's a little scary, but I think it's a great time to be alive, especially in tech, to watch what's happening and understand what's going on behind it, and the different models, and they're all pushing each other along. Every day.
And that's what it's very cool. And I know it's scary, but it's fun.
It's also
different.
helping people in tech understand how to think about problems differently.
Right.
And also just the time that they're spending is changing how they're spending time, where they're spending time. So.
And then, even what is it? Like the federal government, I know is pushing to adopt some different tools. They have some relationships with Claude. I know some of the big consulting firms that are going to be implementing it. And then there's those relationships between those folks and then Claude. And it's just being applied everywhere. And then how much Copilot is in there too. It's just so much.
It's dizzying.
It's very.
And there's so many different use cases that people, I mean, I work with our customers on a regular basis and we're like, it's kind of like the world's your oyster. How do you want to do it? Like, this is the data that you have. How do you want to use it to accelerate your business? And I think I'm coming at it more from the data side and how to use it, not necessarily just AI. And I think that's where people get a little lost.
Because you're applying it to a very specific use case, right?
Like,
and that's
what's
what you're
your
saying.
North Star as a company, and how do you want to get there? And what are the pieces that you think you need? And how do you then, what parts of technology can be used to get you there? It may or may not be AI.
We've already just said, and I think we already talked about this in terms of AI is not going to replace your job. It's going to, and I have these conversations all the time with people. It's just, again, how you use it. And I say the same thing too. I go, how are you using AI? And use it to benefit you.
Yeah.
AI is still going to be needed. And we talk about it in so many different applications. Like yesterday, we were talking about in storage and, on the storage side, in storage admins. I can't believe I remembered this conversation. It's very techie of me. But it was so cool. And I go, wait, we need to use this for that? Oh, and then they go, no, you always need admins, storage admins or whatever admins, technical folks managing it. You're using that AI layer to enable it, automate it, make it go faster. But you still need your brain power.
You still need it. You need you can't just take it away. You need somebody, human in the loop is a real thing.
Exactly. But I think sometimes, especially in tech or like in our industries, we know it's not going to do it. It's just so hard sometimes to communicate that to the non-tech, non-telecom, non-tech users world, right?
But there's an administration layer that AI is helping to automate, and that's what people are seeing.
Yeah.
But it is going to change jobs, and there'll be different jobs available, but it's still a lot of human in the loop. And some of these companies, they're letting all these knowledge workers go, people that have knowledge about how the business works, why it works that way, all these things. Where are you going to gain that knowledge? You have to build it all back.
Exactly.
And those people are important. And imagine what they could do if you automated some of those pieces and the things that they know. But again, it comes back to the relationships.
Yeah. True. Very true.
And the knowledge in your head, because an AI is not going to do logic the same way as a person. It's just not.
And it's not. And then that was the other thing. And you touched on it earlier about that whole digital experience, customer service, and using that. And I think it's just, and especially in your telecom example, how they're trying to use AI to make that experience better, even though right now it's not fun, but they're making it. And I think
they are.
But people are thinking that it's going to get replaced, right, by human or by AI, but they're using it to automate that experience to make your experience, meaning customer experience, better. But I think those are some misconceptions that people just don't understand. Technology can really help you.
It can.
It's just it was scary
and also,
for people,
think about the things that you never had the time to do because you were so focused on this little piece that you couldn't get done so fast.
Right.
Now you can get it done so fast. Now you can do that other thing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fun.
That is very, that's very true.
I'm always looking for time savings in the right places.
Always.
Yeah.
What is the weirdest or most frustrating automated service experience you've had recently with AI or without AI?
I mean, I definitely was having problems with one of my service providers at my home. And I was passed on to not one, not two, not three, but 4 different agents.
Did you yell customer service? That's what I yelled.
And then somebody hung up on me.
And
I was like, oh my God, I've been on the phone for so long. Like, I don't have time to be on the phone like that. I'm seeing a lot of changes. And I think that even that organization has since changed.
Okay.
So that was really painful. God. Oh, I can't help you. It's this way. Oh, I can't help you. It's this way. And then at the end, it just hangs up and you're.
Yeah. Right.
I've been on the phone for an hour.
Were you speaking to a human or were you speaking to like a chatbot?
There were 2. It was very painful.
So bad.
But I've seen some really good ones too recently.
Are you?
Yeah. And then, I also, I heard a story from someone who has literally hired children in another country to read scripts that are written by AI. And that's how they're managing their customer support because people want to talk to a human. Okay, you're going to talk to a human. The human's reading a script.
Wow.
And it's only because you want to talk to a human and that labor is very inexpensive. So we're going to do it this way because you're not ready. But I'm sure you've had experiences recently where you didn't know you were talking to an AI and it was totally sounding like a human.
Yeah.
They've gotten really good.
They have. I'm trying to think. Well, I think that's probably all the phone messages that I get about loans. Every day I get about 5 or 6 loans.
Oh my God, I get so many calls.
I do. I want to just pick up and say, I want it. Give me the money. But how about you give me your banking info and I'm going to put the joke's on you, buddy.
Oh, it's so hard. The spam calls are beyond. They're so bad.
I don't know why I'm like, I don't pick up.
I don't either,
go find somebody else. Who's answering that?
I don't know.
That's the point, right? It's so good that someone's answering it.
But I think the one that I mentioned is really someone's calling in for help.
Yeah. Exactly.
And you think about it, on the other end, they're like, how do I teach the customer how to do X? And they have a whole knowledge engine, probably powered by AI, that gives them the instructions to say, okay, let's do this.
Yeah.
And that's a way better experience. But I'll tell you, I would rather do it online and not call you.
Right.
I don't want to call you at all.
Absolutely.
We just saw a demo last week of Watson, and it was a customer service example of how they can build the AI workflow, and it was exactly what you were talking about. It wasn't that the customer would only interact with AI; they were still interacting with the service agent. but the service agent was using AI to listen to what the customer's problem was, putting it in, it's searching the knowledge base, it's taking it out, it's telling them what to say, and then at the end, it gives them options, and then it drafts an email for them that they can then just copy and paste. Like, so it's showing how you can use AI to augment the process without replacing the people. So it was pretty interesting. It was a really cool way to. I hadn't seen an AI example in that way, and so it was really cool to see.
See, I love all of that, and I see that stuff with what I'm working on with Quantum, and what we're doing also is we're saying, well, what were they doing in digital before they called you? So it's like, hey, I see that you were trying to do X. Let me help you do that, and they're already getting the right script potentially, so they can accelerate that, because you don't really want to be on the phone with them, and quite frankly, it's expensive for you to be on the phone with them, for you and them, by the way.
Of course, because it's time.
Yeah.
In terms of what you're doing for the Philadelphia community, you're super active in the community. I want to talk about like women in tech, leadership, but also I want to understand are you promoting AI into these different worlds that you're living in, or is AI a separate conversation that you live in? Because you said earlier, right? You come to the party or you go wherever and you want to talk about tech. You want to talk about AI or data. Do you find that you're separating them within the different?
It depends, right? It depends
worlds?
where I am. So the Philly tech community, I'm one of the founders of Philly Builds AI. And what that is that there was a Brookings study done a few years ago, 2023, saying that the Philadelphia area is primed for economic development in enterprise AI, enterprise digital solutions, but enterprise AI. Meaning that enterprise organizations using AI to accelerate. And quite frankly, there's a lot of opportunity for economic jobs, economic development here. Like we're a $355 billion industry here in Philadelphia, and people aren't looking at Philly. They're like, oh, they know us for cheesesteaks and the Eagles. There's a lot more here.
Right.
And
we have big tech companies, especially telecom.
We have huge big tech companies.
We have the
Comcast.
Phillies too.
Yes. What'd you say?
We have the Phillies.
Oh, the Phillies.
The Flyers, sure.
Sixers, give them a shout out. The Union.
All of them, right? So, but there's a lot going on here from an economic development perspective. It's an opportunistic space. It's less expensive to build here than in Denver, than in San Francisco. Like, it's a great place to build. There's a lot of startups. Like Venmo started here, and somebody went, boop, you're going to New York. A lot more expensive for them to be in New York. Boomi was started here. But then there's the vanguards. There's, fintech. There's SAP. There's these organizations that they're primed for additional economic development. And you know how hard it is to build an enterprise company. You work there. You work with them, right? Yeah. So how nice would it be to have a very knowledgeable startup that can move really quickly, helping you solve your problems?
Right.
How do you match those people together?
Yeah. And that's what you're...
That's that Philly Builds AI ecosystem. Because we're primed for it here in Philadelphia. And how do you create that connectivity in the ecosystem?
I like that.
That's one piece. So I'm also on the board of Women in Cable Tech and Media.
And that's WICT.
WICT. Yeah, WICT.
Okay.
And so I've run programming for them. This past 2 years, I've run Tech It Out with a colleague. And just bringing technology, knowledge, leadership, understanding to the Philadelphia ecosystem. And that's been really fun.
Yeah.
And it's a lot about also helping women step out of their shells. Because there's women I talk to every day that are like, the power that you exude when you walk in, I'm like, I had to build that.
Yeah,
like, you can build that too.
You
have to know that you understand what you're talking about and demand a presence but you do need to have the substance behind it. So how do we help you learn the substance behind it?
Of course.
And
are people receptive? Are the women, because you have to want to, right?
You have to want to.
Right. It doesn't just come.
I see people edge into it.
Okay.
And I see some people lean full into it.
Okay.
It just depends. Yeah. And I think some people just need to be more fearless. And people that have taught me to be more fearless and to believe in what I'm talking about. And I've had enough experiences now with pretty senior technology leaders that they're like, wow, you actually know what you're talking about. I'm like, I know. Isn't it fun to talk to someone that knows that? And
absolutely.
So I help teach. I coach a lot of people. I mentor a lot of people, and I look to lift others up.
Yeah.
And I think that AI is an opportunity for people to be able to lift themselves up, to gain knowledge, as long as they're verifying information, but to move faster in their world and to make time for being out in the world and not just sitting and doing admin work at their desk.
Agreed.
So it's a good time for that.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people in the Philadelphia area that are doing things like that. And I invest time in finding those people and learning from them myself.
Cool. Yeah.
Because that growth mindset's a big one.
See, I love having conversations like this with fellow women entrepreneurs, successful leaders in the industry, because I've always found, and I don't want to get like too much in this, but I know you'll understand it, where being a successful female in this industry is very lonely. And I don't mean it from men, women, just in general. Mm-hmm. And so it's really nice and, what's the word I would say? It's really nice. And it's really just powerful to hear how supportive there are other women in this industry. Because, I have a list of people where I joke with my therapist and say, I don't want to say the people, the FU list, right? Like, I'm gonna go back to you, and she's like, you need to work through that list. So, right. So like therapy, we're working through that list. But a lot of them.
How does she want you to work through that list? What? How does she want you to work through that list? We're going to
work through the experiences and then move past it. Because she's like, you're going in this whole different direction. You don't want to be brought down by these people. Yeah. But it's unfortunate that on my list of those FUs, a lot of them are women. And that's what I was telling her.
But I say there's a special place in hell for women that don't support women.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Is that what you say?
I do say that.
Okay, great.
And you know what?
I think have FU list, so you're fine.
That's fine. But also, it's what bags were they carrying that's the experience that you had with them. Yeah. And you don't know what's going on behind someone's doors and their stories. And I've worked really hard to say, like, you're either going to like me or not like me. Right. I'm not everyone's cup of tea.
Right.
And if you want to, like, hang out and talk and, like, that'll be great. Yes. And if we aren't the right mesh, that's okay.
Yes.
But
see how kind and encouraging that sounds? Because you're just like, it's cool. We'll work. I'll support or carry on. Like, it's good. I mean, it's just, there's a lot of easy ways to say this. And so it's just those experiences, and it's just super encouraging. So if you need help in any of these organizations, or you need me to come step in,
I'm going to call you after.
I want to help, because I want to be around women who want that. Yes. So if you find the women who are leaning in, I'm in, because I was there too. So we all were those before,
but the more you're out in the world and you're presenting that way, and people see you as supportive, they're also going to pay it forward and support other people. Absolutely. And I've seen it over and over and over again. Like, I'm a connector. Yeah. And some of those connections have had really beautiful results. And guess what? It pays back in a millionfold.
It does.
Not just with pride, with like in other ways too.
Agreed. And I really, so I know. David, we got it on recording.
My wife always says that getting a compliment as a woman from another woman is so much better than a compliment from a man, because she said it's genuine.
Yeah, it is.
I've never received compliments from men in that way. Like, it's very rare, and that's sad. Yeah. And I wish I did. And some of it's been more recently. Like, it's happened more recently, and I don't know what's changed that I've gotten any compliments from any men from a technology perspective. Yeah. Like, that's hard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know why.
I know.
And, I was at the Wayne Music Festival last weekend, and I was having a conversation with someone. We started talking about AI, and we're talking about A to A, which is agent to agent, and some of the cybersecurity things that are going on. He's like, did you just say A to A? Mm-hmm. And I was like, do you know what that is? And he goes, how do you know what that is?
Yeah. They're like, honey, I got this. Yeah.
And he's like, we should talk. I'm like, okay, let's figure it out. Like, that's fun. And that was a compliment. I was like, oh, I think that's a compliment.
Mm-hmm. It is a compliment. It's just so good. I know. It's so, Doug, I'm giving you a shout out, but it's so funny. Doug always jokes about my journey. And he just always says to me, he goes, you're a CEO now. He goes, where you were before, you were just doing like and he goes, you leaned into it and you owned it, and then you're like pushing and paying it forward, and it's really
you're a baller now. You're a boss.
Yeah, and
but feeling that and understanding and waking up in the morning and be like, whoa, okay. Yeah, I've had a good journey and I feel confident with where I am. And you got to embrace it.
Exactly. But coming from a man like Doug, and I look at Doug,
we love Doug. Yeah.
In such high regards. And for him to say it, because he's brutally honest, which I won't, I want it. Yeah. But I go, wow, Doug, like, damn. But he goes, no, but like, look where you are now. And it's
important. And that's a beautiful compliment from a man.
100%.
Who's saying, like,
that's a compliment
to own where you
want.
are. It's hard to own where you are.
Exactly. It's super cool. It's just, I know. It's very exciting.
I love it.
I love it too. So has there been any embarrassing moments in tech that, like, any experience?
Embarrassing.
I mean, or maybe something that's humbled you.
I mean, I worked in corporate America.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of politics. And the politics are
crazy.
are definitely humbling, and you need to really navigate them. And I was pretty good at it, but I certainly had some challenging experiences in those types of environments where you didn't understand the why behind this was the experience that you had.
Yeah.
And sometimes you found out why and sometimes you didn't. I still remember there was a wonderful boss that I had who one day he's like, we're shutting this down, this program. Wow. And I was like, why are we shutting this down?
Yeah.
Like, look how far we're about to like activate all of these lines. We've done this amazing thing. And he's like, we got to shut it down. And I had tears in my eyes.
Oh.
And I couldn't understand the why behind it. And even, I mean, I understand the why behind it now, but it was humbling because I had to tell our team, it's over. Like, we're done this project.
I know, because then you have to break it to everybody else, and it sucks.
And that was. I mean, in my heart, in my head, and in also my career. I'm like, we were rocking this.
Yeah. And
you had to take a step back and bring everybody back up along for whatever came next.
Yeah.
And it happened, and it was certainly a life lesson and humbling in so many ways, because you think you're on a rocket and like the rocket is now not going into the air anymore. Yeah. I think like, oh.
That's hard. I know, it's a little dagger.
You come out of it though, you learn. You learn from those experiences.
But what's interesting is, and this is, I know we're touching on, we've gone over.
I know we're all over. It's fine.
But I love it. But that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to talk about tech, and we're supposed to talk leadership and business. And, but it's funny that sometimes people tell me that people don't survive it, right? So like you just said, like that happens. And I just go, wow, what?
But I mean,
you don't think about it.
You seem this way too, in that, okay, these things are going to happen. You can choose to drown in it,
right?
Or you can choose to move forward,
right?
And I have chosen on all, like, glass half full all days.
Always. I'd rather be
go
positive,
for it.
lady. Yeah.
Like yesterday for me was like, it was a shit show.
Yeah.
Sorry, whatever.
No,
like so many things happened. And I went out to dinner with friends last night, and they're like, you have a smile on after all that stuff that happened. I'm like, well, everything worked out.
Yeah.
It all worked out.
And
but I could have looked at it differently,
yeah.
And I could have drowned in it, or I can say it's all going to work out for me.
Absolutely.
And I believe in the universe.
I do too. So I think that's another thing we have in common, because I'm huge about the universe, manifestations, like all of that. I look at my horoscopes, what I'm saying, what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, like even the animals that I'm like, I'm naturally attracted to, and like choices that like I made back before, like a butterfly and the meaning of butterfly and leaderships, right? And then looking at elephants and and then how that relates also. So I really believe in stoicism, and that's just like my perspective, my philosophical perspective on how you handle things, right? Everything that you talked about. And so I just look at that. And then it was funny. I was reading some book, and I saved it, and I went, and it just mentioned like some of these animals that I'm just naturally like in love with. And I went, this was like meant, this is all meant to be.
Yes.
So it's all coming together.
Yeah.
It's a great place when you get there. So,
yeah. I think it's important. I think it's important also to believe in yourself. And that's part of everything that you just said. It's like, well, how am I setting up my life for the successes that I want to have? So
we didn't talk much about the generational divide. So what's a good prompt? Because I don't have any prompt questions in there, but.
So it's really like how the different generations are leaning in or not leaning into the tech tools, which is interesting. And it also depends on where they are. But if you think about in the customer service space is, you know, I know everybody, it's like 0, 0, 0, agent. They don't want to talk to or deal with it at all. Right. But you know, the younger generations would much rather do it online, and they're actually not so afraid of these AI agents. Like they're like, whatever, that's what they're used to. They grew up with the technology, it's fine. And that's a huge difference. So if you think about like leadership in these organizations and what they think is acceptable and not acceptable, or like where the generations are going, what does that look like? Also, like leaning into the use of the tools. And some of the older generations are not necessarily leaning into using them, but they know they need an AI strategy. Like, let's use AI for what? Right? Whereas some of the younger generations that are using AI and leaning into it and understanding what it can do for them, they feel more comfortable in that type of environment. So there's definitely a huge range of like how the generations are leaning into technology or not. And just because we say old school, like you're old school, you want a PowerPoint, right? And there's a lot of other ways to do that. And, you know, there's just a really big divide on how and who and how to bring people along and make it attainable. Like how do you make it something that I can use and I feel comfortable with? And that's why I encourage everyone just to play with it. You don't have to code, right? You don't have to code, although you could. I launched my entire website in like a few minutes because I put it all together and Claude helped me do it. And Claude will literally, if you need it, walk you through every step that you need to go to do it. And most of these LLMs will, right? It's fine. And it's approachable. It is approachable when you get into it, but I think it's about stepping into it and not being scared and knowing like it's not like I'm releasing OpenClaw onto my entire ecosystem in my company. I'm not doing that. I'm doing it myself, but I'm using it for instructional purposes. I'm using it for ideas. And there are different generations that are more apt to be using AI in that way. And if you think about leadership and the leaders that are leaning in and using it versus the ones that are like still kind of doing a lot of manual. That it's an opportunistic time.
It is, and you got to take advantage of it.
You do, and different generations have different feelings. Like my daughter's like, I hate AI. She wants to be a doctor. Okay, fine. She just graduated high school. She hates AI. My son, he's fine. He's like, yeah, I mean, I use it for these things. Like, it's okay. And then like my partner, he's gotten into using. He likes to chat, and that's been very great. That's been great for him. Also, his company has a chatbot that's AI. And he's like, this is really cool. I don't know how it was done, but it's really cool. And he's probably more open to it than others because I'm in it all the time and I'm talking about it. So he's like, okay, she knows at least.
It's taking over. Like sometimes I want the ease of calling someone, give me the answer, get off the phone. And then the other times, I don't mind AI. It really just depends on like what we're trying to do and the problems we're trying to solve. So I'm like quasi this, quasi that. But like,
You also want to make sure that the answer that you're getting, especially if you're using an LLM, is right. And there's a lot of times where it's not right. So you have to be careful with how you're using things.
Very true.
And that makes some people hate it more.
It's just like everyone, we love just talking about AI. So AI is just like, it's everywhere. So it doesn't matter.
It's infiltrating the whole world. And that's not going to stop. It's going to get more. But it's really about the how to use AI so that it's helping you.
And I think that's why the human piece of it, it's not going to take a lot of jobs, right? It's going to take some, but it's going to change things. But you can't. It's not going to completely eliminate things because you still need to be able to apply reason and logic to the output that AI is producing, you know, without having just blindly saying, okay, yes, this is
and you have to train it. Just like you train it, like, I don't want M dashes. When you give me stuff, no M dashes, man. Like, I don't like it. Like, you have to train everything. Like, this is an acceptable thing to do. Why would you recommend that? Like, that would be a really problem if I did what you just said.
Exactly.
And it's like, well, right?
Yeah, right.
Oh, you're right. I don't know why you gave me that suggestion.
Right,
but okay.
Right,
like,
exactly. That's
like,
what
you
we were
really
saying
have to
earlier.
figure it out. And that's, I mean...
But some people take it blindly.
Well, I follow GPS blindly, so.
That's true, too. But I always look at the maps before.
The M- thing is funny because it's actually proper grammar to use M-, but it's so many people have not been using it for so long because they don't know how to use it. When AI started using it, it was the first thing like, yep, that's AI. That's AI.
It's still
even though it's processed, even though it's
and I've used them in the past and I've stopped because I'm like, I don't want people to think that I'm not using AI for this. Like, it used to be like this, and like now I remove them. I spend time because I'm like,
I also don't like when it does apostrophes. I always keep yelling at it. I go, I have never used apostrophes because
all of those. I'm like, you're like, I know, I agree.
I don't.
I don't talk like that.
No.
Because it sounds. To me, it sounds more like casual.
Right. But that's the English that we were taught like 20-something years ago when I was learning how to email. They're like, you don't do that. And now all of a sudden they do that. I go, no. I'm going to stick with the old school.
Well, what are they teaching in school now? I have no idea.
That I don't know. David, he has kids, young kids.
Do they teach that?
Quite honestly, my 8th grader, when he texts me, I'm like, what is this?
What does it even say?
It's just the spelling, the shorthand, the lack of punctuation. It's like, I think I actually said that to my wife. Like, it concerns me a little bit of what they're actually teaching in grammar and writing in school when I see that, because it's scary. Like, dude, like, what are you doing here?
But I've started reverse mentoring now. I started a reverse mentoring program at our company because there's stuff I want to hear the other side.
Right.
So I want to learn.
Learning?
We haven't started yet.
You haven't yet. Okay.
But I can't rely on my children to teach me these things. So
because they're even beyond it now too, right? Because you have is it 18 your youngest?
18 and 20.
Yeah. So that right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, so you want them to mentor you on
I want
what
somebody that's younger in our company to mentor me, because I'd like to see the perspectives on the other side. And when am I going to get that opportunity? I need that.
That's maybe why Sam always listens to Luke, right? Because Luke is like the 22-year-old like coder kid who's like in their 24 or whatever his age is. And he's like, oh, well, Luke taught me this. I'm like, what? He even teaches me.
You open your eyes to things you wouldn't know. That's fine.
Oh, we do that?
By the way, you teach him every day too.
Yeah.
But he's teaching you because it's stuff that he's exposed to, maybe on social media, maybe not. Who knows?
All right. I'm going to ask you some fun, like rapid fire questions.
All right. I'm ready.
And then we'll go from there. Gemini or Claude, and for what task?
Gemini is for process-oriented stuff in my book, and Claude is for more thinking through things and really putting a whole story together with multiple pieces. Okay.
All right. Most overrated AI buzzword right now? Yeah.
Geez. ChatGPT.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
It's an interesting one.
Yeah, I know. What is the most underrated theme that leaders are missing right now in the industry and within AI?
AI is for agility and acceleration. I think that I think that people are thinking about it but not necessarily implementing it in holistically. It's like in such little pieces, and there's ways that they can transform their organization if they looked at the problems a little differently with the tools available.
I like that. What's one technology you'd bring back from the dead?
I don't know why beepers came to mind. It's not beepers. It's not beepers.
I was even going to say BlackBerry. What about BlackBerry?
That's a hard one.
Okay.
Sorry, that's really hard. I have no idea.
But I kind of like the beepers. What was the Nextel had those little chirps. The chirps. Chirp. Remember that? That was in high school for me, and it was so annoying because it was like, yo, and then you just hear yo all of a sudden.
I would just remember writing boobless on the beeper and thinking that was so funny when you turned it upside down. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Boobless? What?
Because it's like 80087.
Used to do that on the calculators too.
Oh my God. That is so good. Okay, guys, where did I go to school? We didn't do that.
Oh my
God. Did the penis pictures though. I know I was recording, but we would do those. We would draw that. But what?
I went to public school, so that's probably why.
Right. I went to public school too.
They're so funny, but like we didn't do that. That's all right. What is coming up in the telecom industry that or service industry that you think leaders are not prepared for?
It depends on what type of leader, right?
Okay.
I mean, I do think that wearables, and we touched on it earlier.
Okay.
Wearables are going to be so huge, and they're going to be so huge
wearables.
so quickly.
Okay, yeah.
Wearables. I mean, that's coming so quickly, and I don't know if people have fully thought through how that's going to change interactions, work, how people walk around in the world. Like, that's going to be a huge game changer.
Right.
And I don't know that everybody's thought through the way that that's going to change everyday life.
What should smart teams do? And this is probably related to what you just said. What should smart teams do now in the next 6 months to better prepare them for like the 2 years or 5 years down the road?
Understand what use cases are working, why they're working, and where their company can grow from them that they can build on top of. Because right now, some of the companies that I'm working with that are kind of rewriting their architecture and they're modernizing their ecosystem internally, they are much more prepared for what's next than the folks that are stuck with some really legacy tool sets.
Right.
And they are going to be so far behind when it's time to move on to the next level.
Yeah.
You need to have modernized your ecosystem to be able to grow. And if you can do that using the new tech that's available to you, you'll be able to do that so you are prepared for what's coming in the next 2-5 years, because it's going to come fast.
It's already coming. It's already here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What should small businesses learn from the larger enterprises without copying their complexity? Is there some things that in the groups that you're in that you could tell them that, enterprise companies that you've worked for that we've all supported?
I mean, for me, I think that some of these smaller businesses have a better opportunity to work much easier across silos.
Yeah.
Because now it's an ecosystem play.
Yeah.
And you need your business to all be running together. And that's actually really, really hard for an enterprise business to do, especially with these large teams that they are making smaller. But it's much harder to work cross-functionally in a very large organization than it is in a smaller, where you can actually say, okay, here's the 3 big, huge things that we're all aiming for. And as an organization, this is the partnerships that are required to make that happen.
Okay, yeah.
And I think that small businesses can learn from that, because enterprises are trying, but they're doing it in pockets, and it's hard.
I know. And that also is kind of what you were mentioning earlier about the silos of the AWS and all the different technologies, and they're building it here, but they're not.
How do you horizontally integrate your ecosystem so that you can grow as a company, and what's really going to take you forward?
I think that's one of my big takeaways. I think that's really true, and that's a problem, for tech providers to think about and solve, because it's an opportunity of growth right there.
But I mean, I was in multiple meetings this week where we very clearly were helping them break down those silos so that they could see the opportunity.
That's cool.
And when your organization is humming together, you can see it.
Yeah. Well, cool. All right. Well, this has been fun.
It has been fun.
Yes, we've covered a lot of different subjects, from AI to technology to the generational gap changes, right? Divine. Governance, and how are they, the governance piece we talk, leadership, Philadelphia, women, business, everything. And I'm super happy that you were able to come and join us. And I got to make a new friend today. So this is really cool.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you.
All good things.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Well, that was such a great conversation with Ricki Lang today. What I loved about this episode is that Ricki brought out the conversation of AI back down to earth. Not AI is magic. Not AI is taking over every job tomorrow, but something much more useful. Technology is an enabler, and the real work is making sure people, data, processes, customers, and employees are all part of the journey. We talked about telecom, government, customer service, automation, generational differences, and the future of work. But through the line was simple. If you want technology to succeed, you cannot ignore the human side of the equation. Ricki also reminded us that change does not just eliminate opportunity, it creates new opportunity, but only for the people and organizations willing to adapt, learn, and lead through it intentionally. A huge thank you for Ricki joining us today, for bringing the Philly Tech energy, and for helping making AI feel a little bit more practical, a little bit more human, a little bit less overwhelming. As always, thank you for listening to Tipsy Technologists. If you enjoyed this episode, follow us, share it with someone who is trying to figure out what AI actually means for their business, and leave us a great review. Preferably before the drink rating starts affecting your judgment. Until next time, keep your tech sharp, your people first, and your glass responsibly full. Cheers.